Hello everybody, welcome to Bodha Academy. I am Kamalakar, lecturer in physics. Today we will be discussing about problems related to electrostatics. First we will consider a problem in which four charges are placed at the corners of a square. We want to find force acting on any one charge. So we can observe that charges at B and D are negative and charges at A and C are positive. We want to find force acting on charge at B. First we will consider force between charge at B and charge at A. Let me denote this force as F1, which is given by inverse square law 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by distance square. Distance is nothing but length of the square. So this I'll call it as L square. So this I can write it as K into Q square by L square, where K is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. The direction of this F1 will be along BA. Along BA. The reason is B is negative charge, A is positive charge. So charge at B is attracted towards charge at A. Hence direction is along BA. Similarly, force between charge at B and charge at C is given as F2 is equals to K into Q square by L square. And direction of this force will be along BC. Along BC. Here also you can observe that at B we are having negative charge, at C we are having positive charge. So charge at B is attracted towards charge at C. Hence direction is along BC. Now these two forces F1 and F2 can be considered to be at adjacent sides of a parallelogram. Hence the resultant will be along the diagonal of the parallelogram. So by applying parallelogram law of vectors we get by parallelogram law of vectors, we get resultant force for one force F1 and F2 is given as square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos 90. Observe here, angle between F1 and F2 is 90 degrees and cos 90 is 0. Hence I am not writing the other term. So this can be written as square root of K into Q square by L square whole square plus K into Q square by L square whole square. Whole thing under root. So this on simplification will get or this we can write it as root 2 into K into Q square by L square. And direction of this will be along the diagonal BD. Along the diagonal BD. So let me call this force as equation 1. Now there is one more charge left, charge at D. We are supposed to consider force between charge at D and charge at B. These two forces are like charges, hence they will repel each other. Hence force acting on charge at B is given as F3 is equals to K into Q square by distance between charge at D and charge at B. It's nothing but diagonal BD. Diagonal of a square is nothing but root 2L. Hence I can write root 2L whole square. So this equal to K into Q square by 2L square. And direction is along DB. Along DB. Let me call it as equation 2. Now resultant force on charge at B is given as you can observe that charge at B will experience Charge at B experience a force F12 due to charge at A and charge at C. Also, it experiences a force F3 in opposite direction to F12. Therefore, resultant force is given as F12 minus F3. So that's equals to F12 is nothing but root 2 K into Q square by L square. F3 is nothing but K into Q square by 2L square. So this on simplification will get K into Q square by L square whole thing into root 2 minus half. So that's equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. K value we had taken as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square by L square whole thing into root 2 minus half. So this is the answer for this problem. So next problem. Here we are considering two identical charged spheres suspended by strings of equal length, and string makes certain angle with respect to each other. Observe this diagram. So initially this arrangement is in air. This arrangement is in air. Afterwards this arrangement is immersed in liquid. Then we are supposed to find dielectric constant of the liquid. So first we'll consider the case when the system is in air. Case 1, when system is in air. So you can observe that on the sphere, its weight mg will be acting downward direction. Tension in the string will be acting towards point of suspension. This tension is resolved into two perpendicular components, T cos theta and T sin theta. Also, it will experience a force of repulsion due to charge at other sphere that I am denoting as F0. So at equilibrium, we can write upward force equals to downward force and left side force equals to right side force. So at equilibrium, we can write T sin theta is equals to F0 and T cos theta is equals to mg. So let me call this as equation 1 and let me call it as equation 2. Divide equation 1 by equation 2. We get Tt cancels off, tan theta is equals to F by mg. Call it as equation 3. Now this arrangement is immersed in the liquid. In the problem it is given that in spite of immersing in the liquid, the angle theta remains same. Let us proceed for the second case. Case 2. When system is immersed in liquid. System is immersed in liquid. So in this case, we can observe that weight mg will be acting downward direction. Tension in the string will be acting towards point of suspension. Repulsive force will be acting in opposite directions. So on this sphere, the force of repulsion will be acting towards right. Now tension is resolved into two perpendicular components, T cos theta and T sin theta. Apart from these forces, buoyancy force also acts on the sphere, which is given as volume into density of liquid into G. So at equilibrium, left side force equals to right side force means I can write T sin theta is equals to Fm. Upward force equals to downward force means I can write T cos theta plus volume into density of liquid into G is equals to mg. This equation I can write it as T cos theta is equals to mg minus volume into density of liquid into G. Call it as equation 5. Now divide equation 4 by equation 5. We get tan theta is equals to Fm divided by mg minus volume into density of liquid into G. Call it as equation 6. Now we can observe that from equations 3 and 6. LHS is same. Both cases we got tan theta. Previous case also tan theta. Present case also tan theta. So RHS must also be same. So RHS of equation 3 is F by mg. That must be equals to Fm by mg minus volume into density of liquid into G. We'll equate it. So from equations 3 and 6 we get F by mg is equals to Fm by mg minus volume into density of liquid into G. Or this I can write it as F by Fm is equals to mg by mg minus volume into density of liquid into G. So this equals to, I can write it as F by Fm is nothing but epsilon r, that's equals to mg by mg minus volume into density of liquid into G, where epsilon r is equals to F by Fm, that's equals to relative permittivity or dielectric constant. Relative permittivity or dielectric constant. So this I can write it as epsilon r is equals to volume into density of solid into G. Mass I am writing as volume into density of solid. Again in the denominator, volume into density of solid into G minus volume into density of liquid into G. We can cancel V throughout, G throughout. So we'll get epsilon r is equals to density of solid by density of solid minus density of liquid. Now substitute the values given in the problem. Density of solid is given as 1600 kg per cubic meter. Density of liquid is given as 400 kg per cubic meter. So this on simplification will get it as 4 by 3 or it's equal to 1.33. So this is the relative permittivity or dielectric constant of the liquid. Hope the concepts are clear to you. If you like this video, then please share and subscribe. Thank you.